Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
Dolly Parton is a legendary country singer, songwriter, record producer, actor, author, and businesswoman. I found out that one of her band members was from Milwaukee, and her husband is not her biggest fan. She explained her interview in Playboy magazine, her favorite recording artist, her biggest hit, a lawsuit, and her wigs. But how did a piece of the Skylab get into the conversation?
Yes, it is.
Hi, this is Dolly Parton. How are you?
Hi, Dolly, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing real good.
I should say hello, Dolly.
Oh, well, that would be what most people would say, but see, I know you'd be more original than that. By the way, it's nice to be with you, and thanks for all the crazy things you can say about a person.
I don't know if I'm sure you don't remember, but the last time I saw you was backstage at the Opry, and then you told me that a couple of your band members were from Milwaukee.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Greg Perry, who is my band leader, and he produces all of my albums and things, he works with us. In fact, there's a guy from Milwaukee now at the newspaper that's out on the road doing a story on Greg, which will be running the, I guess, Insight.
Oh, yeah. We are on the air right now with Dolly Parton, and she is a gal who was in Australia, and there was a man there who found a hunk of Skylab, and he could make a fortune with that, but that didn't bother. He didn't care about that at all. All he wanted to exchange some of this Skylab for a couple of tickets to a sold-out concert of Dolly Parton's in Melbourne and Sydney. He's still looking for the tickets, but he's got his hunk of Skylab, but not Dolly Parton.
I really was in Australia when the Skylab fell. In fact, we were flying in close to the area where it did fall, and my dad was back home in East Tennessee, and he was just having a fit because my brother and I were both, on that tour. But Mama said, well, don't worry about Dolly. If she knows the Skylab is falling, she's going to get a flight and fly above it, I'm sure.
You mentioned that things are really going great for you, and I was reading your book, not your book, I was reading the book Dolly Parton by Otis James, and it says, where does Dolly go from here? She could be the new Elvis Presley.
Oh, dear.
What do you think? Do you think that could happen?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think there's ever but one of a kind, and I just hope I do really well. I think Elvis was great. I don't expect to be an Elvis Presley. I don't even want to be, like anybody else. I just want to do really good at the things I'm doing, and I like performing. I love working to an audience, and I love to write songs, and I just want to write better songs and have more songs recorded by other people, make better records. And now that I'm going to get into the movies, I hope to do them really well, and I just look forward to every day. I have a great love for life, and I get a lot of satisfaction out of doing what I do and just coming in contact with people that they seem to appreciate it. So I'm just trying to make my own little spot in the world like everybody is in their own way.
You're making a big spot in the world, I'll tell you that.
Well,
you mentioned movies. What is that all about?
Well, I'm actually going to start making some movies this fall. In fact, the first thing that I'm going to do is a comedy with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. It's called 9 to 5.
Oh, that's right. I read about that, sure.
It's a comedy about secretaries, and it's got a lot of fun stuff in it, which I look forward to working with Jane and Lily. I don't think I could start out any better than with them. It was an idea that was an idea of Jane's, and she thought that I would be good in it, and I hope I don't disappoint her. I'm looking forward to working with her. Well, then I also have signed a 3-movie contract with 20th Century Fox for 3 movies of my own.
Dolly, I always see you wearing wigs. Do you ever perform using your own hair?
Well, I hadn't in a long time. I still have the same hairstyle that I've become pretty famous for. It's certainly out of style and certainly bizarre at times and a bit ridiculous. But I used to always do my own hair the same way. But wigs are a great convenience for me the way I travel. And if I'm going to, maintain this big hairdo, it's certainly not smart to, to damage your own hair in that way. So the wigs work out real well, and they're just part of a look and a costume. But yeah, I wear my own hair a great deal.
What color is your real
My own hair is blonde. I was a natural blonde, but I started making it lighter when I was 15 or 16. So I've kept it just basically, well, in fact, it is the same color as the wigs because I often wear my hair out, mixed in with the wigs and things. So I'm a blonde
Did your fans object to that Playboy interview you did?
No, they didn't. As a matter of fact, I had some of the most positive reaction on that particular interview than anything I've ever done. That, Johnny Carson and the Barbara Walters special the shows have been, some of the best things I've done. I kind of wondered if some of the fans might be offended by it. I hope they wouldn't, because it's the kind of magazine that, if you don't want to look at that kind of stuff, you shouldn't be, going around with that magazine. But I thought it was done in good taste, and I just answered in an honest way some of the questions they asked in that particular magazine that they wouldn't in a, different kind. But it was good reaction.
What did your husband say?
Well, he didn't say nothing. he thought it was a good article.
I read some article one time where it said that you were not his favorite singer. Has he changed?
I'm not.
Has he changed since then?
Well, not really. He likes some of the things I'm doing now more than he used to, because he's never been a real big country music fan. He grew up loving rock and roll music and bluegrass. Those are his two favorite things. And it's only been in the last couple or 3 years that he's really liked some of the stuff I've done. But I still am not his favorite female vocalist or anything. I mean, he loves me better than anybody else, but he wouldn't go out and buy a Dolly Parton record if they didn't come to the house free. It's it's sort of like that.
Dolly, what was your biggest all-time hit?
The biggest one has been Here You Come Again. It sold way over 1 million copies, and the album sold over 1 million.
About a couple of months there, all I heard every time I turned the radio on was Here You Come Again.
Yeah, it was a real big record. It was a good song. I didn't write the song. It was written by Barry Mann and Cynthia Wilde, a husband and wife team that wrote a lot of the big songs in the 50s, like You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling and stuff like that. And it was just a good commercial kind of hit, and everybody related to it.
You are a super person, honey. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
So much.
Bob, it was nice being had. Hi, this is Dolly Parton, and you're listening to the guy who calls the world from Milwaukee, Bob Berry, right here on WOKY.
Bob Berry.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program was made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Bond.